I never used to believe in curses, but then I met Forbidden Island. They say that this game will curse anyone who attempts to upgrade its components. Of course, first, I was skeptical. But based on the number of undelivered packages, out-of-stock items, and other snafus that I have encountered while working on the video for this game, I'm starting to wonder if the legend may be true. But fortunately, rumor has it that the curse will be broken once the ultimate Forbidden Island component upgrade has been discovered. Well, today, I attempt to break this curse as we present, and sometimes try to present, several suggestions for upgrading the components in Forbidden Island.
Saving your game from the mundane, the component proponent, yeah.
Hello and welcome to another installment of The Component Proponent, the series where we take a look at upgrades and enhancements for board games in order to increase our immersion in the gaming experience and just have a little bit of fun. As always, several of the upgrades featured in this episode were provided by sponsor and friend of the show, TopShelfGamer.com, who specializes in board game components and upgrades. Links to Top Shelf Gamer and the components that they provided for this episode will be included in the video's description. Well, this time, we are going to be exploring Forbidden Island, a great entry-level game that's more than capable at building tension while still being accessible, making this my personal gateway game of choice. Now, for those unfamiliar with Forbidden Island, it supports 2 to 4 players who take on the roles of explorers searching the foreboding Forbidden Island on a quest to retrieve 4 ancient artifacts. But, of course, there's a catch. The island begins to sink the moment the explorers set foot on it, which is probably the reason why the island was forbidden in the first place now that I think about it. The explorers must split their actions cunningly between traveling the island or shoring up its ever-sinking tiles while collecting the resources that they'll need in order to rescue the treasures. It's a real balancing act. Focusing too much on the wrong thing at the wrong time will result in a watery doom for the entire team. Now, in addition to the 2-sided tiles that make up the island, the game is propelled by drawing cards from 2 different decks at the end of each player's turns. Players collect cards in their hands, which they'll then use to obtain the treasures and take emergency actions, which they will definitely need. The cards also determine which island tiles flood next and how much. And because of all of this card play, card sleeves are definitely an essential upgrade for the game. Now, your 63.5 by 88mm card sleeves certainly will do the trick, but I've had my keen eye on these water, jungle, and danger-themed card sleeves for the exploration and adventure decks. Unfortunately, all these custom printed sleeves were all temporarily unavailable while I was doing my research into this game. The curse! Could that be the curse? No, it's gotta just be coincidence. But whatever you sleeve them in, you are definitely gonna need those cards to complete your Meeples mission. Meeples, if you can call them Meeples. I mean, really, the player markers that are included with this game barely even qualify as Meeples. I mean, these are actually closer to the unemployed, underachieving half-brother of Meeples, pawns. Hi. Now let's be clear here. I'm not saying that I have a problem with pathetic, paltry pawns, but yeah, to be honest, I would probably rather play a game while sealed inside a burlap sack full of enraged scorpions than sit in the same zip code as a game that uses pawns. Now, I've heard tales told of at least one German edition of Forbidden Island that replaces the original pitiful pawns with pre-painted miniatures. So, there's one potential way to upgrade these deplorable pawns with an international flair, if you're willing and able to track down one of those German editions of the game. And while I was exploring Forbidden Island pawn upgrades from across the sea, I also discovered a custom upgrade available from Studio Twin Games in France. And seeing these, I was intrigued, because really, these are like custom sculpted pawns with attitude. So I ordered some from their website, and it appears that triggered the Forbidden Island curse again, because I placed my order about 3 weeks ago and my package of improved pawns still hasn't arrived yet. But to be fair, they are being shipped from the other side of the globe, which is understandable. But what it boils down to is that I don't have a collection of these Twinples on hand to show you in detail. But I do have this picture, and this onion, and a label maker. So, pawnless, I turned to the next replacement technique that I've seen others do, replacing the plain old pawns with Lego figures. Well, Lego figures already come in a variety of different designs, and there's a wide array of characters that are available to choose from when assembling your team of Lego Legionnaires. However, finding and collecting enough Lego sets to accommodate the game's 6 characters can become quite an investment in time and money. So, a viable alternate approach would be this set of Meeples, which were designed specifically for Forbidden Island and distributed by Top Shelf Gamer and MeepleSource. And once you have your team of upgraded explorers all assembled, they'll be ready to start exploring the Forbidden Island tiles. And as with any game made out of a tableau of tiles that you'll continually be flipping, the potential of disrupting your finely crafted island increases substantially depending on how clumsy your fingers are. And when that includes me, the chances of island misalignment are about 1 in 1. It's a certainty. A single finger fumble can send your atoll into a tumble. But archipelago agitation can easily be averted with this round island frame specifically designed for use with Forbidden Island. This frame will hold all your island tiles in place as you play. At least, I assume it will, because before I could obtain one for the show, I was hit with that blasted curse again and it sold out right in front of me. But then, just as I was about to abandon all hope on making this video and instead go and make one about this really boss label maker instead, I got lucky and I discovered this even bigger tile template when the curse wasn't looking. This frame is even larger, big enough to hold games of Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert, all your Forbidden landmasses. This laser-cut game board's tile spaces include finger slots, which make it easier to grab the tiles when flipping them over or removing them during the game. The board itself is made up of 2 layers of Baltic birch wood. The bottom layer is a 1/4 inch thick and comes sanded, and the top layer is 1/8 of an inch thick and comes sanded and dyed with a walnut stain. When assembled, the frame's a 22.5 inch wide and 26.5 inch long big frame. For storage, it splits into 4 stackable pieces. As I mentioned, this frame is designed to hold the tiles for either Forbidden Desert or Forbidden Island. Actually, it provides a 7x7 grid, which allows enough space to make custom layouts as well, which I thought was really, really cool. If you're looking for custom layout designs then, Brian C. on Board Game Geek has got you covered with suggestions for 16 different custom layouts, most of which will even fit in the 7x7 wooden grid. There's Brian's version of Treasure Island, the appropriately named Harpoon Harbor, Spooky Skull Island, Mutiny Tower, the brutally difficult Twin Islands, and more. Which is all fancy fun. But of course, you can't talk about Forbidden Island without mentioning one of its most fantastically produced components: the 4 treasures that the players are searching for. These are big, bulky, sculpted pieces. In fact, these are already so well designed that I feared that the Forbidden Island component curse had finally gotten the upper hand on me, because honestly, I'm hard-pressed to come up with a replacement that would be better than just these tremendous treasures. Yeah, just as I was about to admit defeat and throw all my board games in the garbage and take up label making, I did stumble upon one justifiable upgrade for these components: paint. Several users on BoardGameGeek, such as Paul K., have posted pics demonstrating how painting these treasures with a simple ink wash and dry brush can really bring out the detail and help bring these treasures to life, resulting in a fantastic way to upgrade these already fantastic components. And then, shortly after finding these paint samples, it happened. I discovered what may very well be the most fantastic Forbidden Island component upgrade known to man. An upgrade so clever, so creative, that merely feasting my eyes on it broke the curse completely, and I immediately won $3 with a scratch-off lottery ticket and found a pair of shoelaces that I'd lost 6 years ago. This upgrade by BoardGameGeek user Andy M repurposes a Pringles can into a mechanism for tracking the rising water level during the game. This is a fantastic upgrade. I want to give you the official component proponent salute, which I would if I had actually come up with one already. I don't know. How about this? No, that's dumb. How about... No, that's worse. You know what? I'll come up with something later. But for now, there are several ideas for creative ways to break the Forbidden Islands component curse. Now, even if these upgrades aren't the direction that you decide to go in, I hope that they at least provide you with some ideas for customizing your game. And if there's a component upgrade that you think is worth talking about, tell me about it either in the comments below or at components@pairofdiceparadise.com. I welcome your suggestions and may even feature them in an upcoming episode. Until then, for more board game news, reviews, and commentary, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. And please remember that videos like this are made possible by viewers like you who have been financially supporting Pair of Dice Paradise's Pod Pledge fundraising campaign. Thank you for your support. For now, take care. Until next time, I've been Chaz Marler, your component proponent. Be sure to join me next episode for the first in my 12-part series in upgrading the only board game component that is worse than paltry pathetic pawns: metal board game tins for the box. Just, no, don't do that. It's not, no one likes that. Do you like that? Because I don't, just give me a cardboard box, not the metal thing. I don't like